All right, hello, and welcome. Today I'm going to be showing you how to take a basic digital product funnel with just a low ticket offer and turn it into an actual business with recurring revenue, high ticket back end offers, and actual enterprise value. And if you stick around to the end, I'm going to tell you how you can win a actual profitable funnel, the one that we have been building out over the past four videos. If you haven't seen those, I basically went from absolute scratch, built the products, the upsells, the funnel, everything. And I have now tested it on Facebook. I will show you the results of that in a second. And like I said, at the end, I'll tell you how you can actually win this. I'm giving away the funnel at the end of the month to someone, just because I don't have the bandwidth to run it myself. And I build it mainly for content. But regardless, first, let's head over here to the ads manager. So here are our ads. So as you can see, this is from the 25th to the 27th. The ads went live on Monday, which was the 25th. And this is where we are. So there's 300 in spend. You can see our top spender was this one right here, which is the avatar targeting the parents. And from that one made 10 sales. The second one made 4 sales, and this one made 3. Now, this is slightly over-reporting. There is an over-reporting issue with Meta for some reason. I'll have to see exactly what's happening there. So the ROAS is not 3.41, it's slightly lower. Regardless, it's super profitable right out the gate. This is always a great sign when something is profitable out the gate like this. But let's head over here to go high level. And this is the funnel. Again, if you haven't seen the other videos, I go through building out this entire sequence here with the sales page, the product, checkout, upsell, downsell, etc. So let's head over here to stats. And let's go from, when was it, Monday? I think we're 25th to 27th. All right, so we had 284 unique visitors, which means 284 people. And 44 of those made it to the checkout, which converted at an 18% rate, which is phenomenal. And it brought in a total amount of $216. Now, this is how much we made in the low ticket purchase, or the low ticket sales, right? You can see the average cart value is $27. Now, the upsell brought in more, which is to be expected, brought in more than the actual low ticket product. We only made 2 sales, but since we're charging $147 for the upsell, it actually brought in more revenue than the upfront product. Then we have the downsell. So basically, if someone declines this upsell, they get sent to a downsell. The same thing, but for $67. I'm not going to say it. We made 1 sale, $67. And so that gives us a total of 577, I think that is. So now let's talk about how to take it from where it is to actual life-changing money, because right now it's putting off 50 to $100 a day in profit, and that's right out the gate. So this is the $27 product. This is what I just showed you. And here are the numbers. So as you can see, we did 577 in revenue, 300 in ad spend. Since it's a digital product, there's no fulfillment costs, there's no cost of goods. It is just the ad spend, which left us with a profit of $277. That is 8 customers at a $72 average order value. All right, so we're right here. We just have the funnel, which is a low ticket product with an upsell and a downsell. And someone buys it once, they go through the funnel one time, and then it's over, and you have to go find a brand new customer all over again. This is what we want to turn it into. So an actual business takes the customer and the same person, and they buy from you again and again and again for months and sometimes even years. That's where their real money is. So it's the same traffic, the same product. We just stop the process of selling one thing and then it's over. All right. So here's a few things that I would do in the order of like highest leverage to, the hardest to implement. So the first thing is add one more upsell. So an upsell, well, I'll tell you the kind of the math on the upsell in a second, but I would add one more upsell immediately. Like that's just free money. Make more ads from your winner. Split test the sales page built for that buyer. I'll show you what that would look like in a second. Scale the ad budget and run your first launch, aka the cash injection, and turn on recurring revenue. Now, one more upsell. So A general rule of thumb is your first upsell, whichever is the first upsell page that gets hit, that one is always the best performer. The second upsell, so if someone accepts the first one, you want to put him, typically you want to run them into a second upsell. And that one, just a general rule of thumb, is it generates about half the revenue of the first one. So if this first upsell right here created, let's call it 300 bucks, if we had a second upsell, we would have made an extra roughly $150 from this funnel without spending any more on ads or anything like that. So that's just free money. And it's I know 150 bucks doesn't sound like much, but at scale, that is massive. Make more ads for your winners. So this is what we were talking about a second ago. You're going to want to add in, so hone in on that particular avatar, make a lot more ads. Don't keep testing avatars at this point because the market is so large for just any avatar. It's like way more than you would think for even something like chess, right? Like parents that play chess with their kids and lose, like that's a pretty niche topic, but it makes it, when you're very specific like that in your creatives, that gives Facebook a very specific person to target, and it knows exactly who to show that ad to, and that's how you convert so well. And even though it sounds niche, I promise you there are millions of parents in that particular category. The market is much larger for any niche than most people actually realize. Now, build a page for that exact buyer. So, and again, the reason I know that the best avatar, the best person to target for this particular funnel is parents who play chess with their kids and lose is because that's the ad that it's converted over twice as much as any other ad at at 11x ROAS, which is just insane. So this is our model creative. Create a lot more that target that particular avatar. But anyway, we're basing all of this off of this particular creative, which is giving us a ton of super valuable data. So now our sales page, it currently looks like this: how to go from 500 to 1,000 ELO in 90 days. So it's for anyone, right? Like anyone can go from 500 to 1,000 in 90 days. But our creative, our ads, the best one is, again, targeting those parents. So what we'd want to do is change this from 500 to 1,000 ELO in 90 days to something specific to that avatar. So like beat your kid at chess, 500 ELO edition. In other words, you want to tailor it specifically to that avatar. And the reason for that is because when your particular avatar sees that ad, the reason they click on it is because it describes their situation so perfectly. So if they hit that and they go to a generic landing page that's kind of for everyone, you can still oftentimes convert them, which we just proved with this particular funnel. It's more general, but once you have identified that avatar, then you want to dial in your sales page to speak exactly to that avatar. Make the entire sales page about that avatar, and your conversion rate will explode. And the way you scale this is then you find a second avatar, you build another set of creatives for a second avatar and another sales page. And so you have all these funnels, all these like sales pages that speak to their own avatar. And that is how you can pull off massive scale with a digital product funnel. Next, once you have done all those things, you're just going to want to increase the ad budget. And if you're converting, even at the rate it's converting now, without being like dialed in and super tested, it's converting super well. So I would increase the budget until I'm a roughly break even, because the more traffic you have coming in, the more that you're spending, the faster you can get that data back to give you the data to make the next decisions as far as, this creative works, this creative doesn't, this avatar is working, this one's not. And once you have that entire funnel and the creatives dialed in, then you can just start ramping up the ad spend, and you can go from where at like $100 a day now to that, $500, $800, $1,000 a day pretty quickly. Now, once you have a few hundred buyers, you're going to want to run a launch. So this could be a few different things. This is what I call a cash injection. You've probably heard of it before, but your high ticket offer has to be worth every penny. So the low ticket product up front, we charge $27 for it, but it has to be worth much more than $27. Same thing with this offer. And if you really deliver on this, they will continue to buy from you. Like I know people that have stayed in coaching programs and just kept paying for it, even though they technically don't need it, just because it helps. There's always more to learn. And so a good coaching customer can pay you, theoretically every 90 days that amount. I'm not saying that's realistic. I'm just saying. Now, here's kind of how you're going to want to run it. So you're going to want to cap it at 10 people, and you're going to want to tell everyone that it's capped. Now, you're going to spend at least 45 days hyping up the launch of this offer by email and text to the people who have already bought from you. So everybody that buys your product inside of Go High Level, they get sent over to the contacts list. There you can go and see the list of all your customers. So you're going to start sending emails out, hyping up this offer, telling them, hey, this is what the offer is going to entail. It's going to be capped at 10 people. It's only going to be available for 5 days, and there's only 10 spots. Open the doors for 5 days or 10 spots, whichever feels first. So what that does is it creates urgency and exclusivity, and you squeeze it into a tiny window of 3 to 5 days. And since they already purchased your other products, they already trust you because you over delivered, hopefully, on your $27 product. So they are far more likely to buy your $3,000 product. So it is think about how difficult it is to just sell a random person a $3,000 product. But if you have sold them say a $100 product or a $27 product, and they got a ton of value from it, now they trust you. They want more from you. They want to learn more from you. And they are far more likely to spend this kind of money on a high ticket product. You take that, you add all this urgency, the exclusivity of 10 people, and you compress that window of time down so where it's limited to only a few days, a quarter. Now you actually have to stick to this. This can't be like fake urgency or anything like that. You have to actually shut the doors. Even if you just get one sale, after 5 days, it's over. You have to shut it down and wait another 3 months is what I found works the best. So like one launch a quarter. Here is why this works so well. So kind of my personal benchmark, the last launch I did, I made about $100 for every person who visited the page on which you can purchase the high ticket offer. The reason for that, again, is because everyone that gets shown this offer has already purchased from me. They already trust me. They know my work. They know I'm good at what I do, right? And that's why they're so much more likely to pay me. And you compress that window of time down. You add in the urgency and everything else. Here's some example numbers. Again, yours will vary. The point is every quarter your list is bigger. So every injection or cash injection is bigger than the last. So this one is like 30, 50, 80, 120. And that's how you actually blow up your business. And this is why I tell you that the funnel itself is not where you make the money. Like if you make some money on it, good, but it's even better if you just run it at break even and spend as much as you can on ads to acquire more and more customers, because that buyer list is what actually matters. And that's where you actually make serious money. Now, recurring revenue. For this particular chess funnel, the thing that I would probably do is open a community. So everyone posts their wins, they post their games, brilliant moves, ELO benchmarks, all these different things, and hang out, talk to each other, just a community, right? And you can charge $20 a month for this. Now, $20 doesn't sound like much, but it never stops. It grows and it just keeps compounding on itself. It's slow at first and then it starts to stack. So over time, you start stacking and stacking and stacking. And that's how you build that back end reoccurring revenue that actually gives your business serious enterprise value. And by enterprise value, I mean, if you try to sell your business, what someone's willing to pay you for your business. At first, it'll be very slow, but over months and years, that 20 a month will grow into, 10 customers, 100 customers, 1,000 customers, and so on and so forth. Now, you stack all that together. So your front end product, that's what we've spent the last 4 episodes building out. That's the $27. This gets the customers. It's like the front end, top of funnel. The upsells lift the AOV to $72 plus. Again, these are just the metrics from this specific funnel. And we just have one upsell. I would add in one more upsell after that. And your high ticket launches, cash injections every quarter, recurring community, $20 a month forever. You started with a $27 ebook. Now every customer is literally worth hundreds of dollars, and your list pays you every single quarter. So that is essentially the recap. And that's how to take your digital product funnel, where you sell something like a $27 ebook, to get somebody to pay you literally thousands of dollars over and over and over and over again. And this works. I've done it before. There's proof inside the school group, which, by the way, if you're not a part of this, I would highly recommend joining it. It's free. There's tons of value, tons of content. We do weekly coaching calls in here for free. And yeah, tons of good stuff. Value, call recordings, questions. Yeah, any questions you have, drop them in here. We'll get them answered for you. And the free funnel giveaway. Now, the free funnel giveaway. So this chest funnel that I spent the past 4 episodes building out, at the end of this month, sorry, not technically, this is the end of the month, the end of next month, which would be June. Yeah, June. At the end of June, I will be giving away this funnel right here, which you can see is actually profitable, like we showed you here. Let me back up here. Where was it? Okay, so far, this is the numbers on this funnel, and I'm going to be giving it away. The reason I'm doing this is for a couple reasons. I'm not just trying to give away free money. I don't really, between Obsidius and some other funnels that I'm running, I don't really have time to build out a sales funnel, or sorry, not build out a sales funnel, continue running this particular one. Even though it's profitable, it's just opportunity cost. And to be honest, I started out, doing this series honestly just for content, and I was just going to put this funnel on the shelf. But since it's actually working, I'm like, hey, this is actually super valuable. And in order to win it, you will need a few things. So one, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. That will be necessary for whoever I decided to, give it away to. I don't know, or we're going to do a drawing or whatnot. But you do have to be subscribed to the YouTube channel. You also have to be a part of the school group. Again, it's free, but sign up for the school group. And you also will need a Go High Level account. But yeah, join the school group. It's free. There's a link down below. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. And at the end of the month, I will hand this funnel over to one person that has done all those things. I think that's it for this one. Let me know. This is technically the end of the Build For Me series, unless I decide to keep going. I don't know if you guys enjoyed it. Let me know, because I enjoy doing it. It was lots of fun. This is what I enjoy to do. So yeah, let me know down below, and we'll catch you in the next one.